humanity is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful to us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. May your fame be spread all over 3 worlds. We take shelter at the lotus feet. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandanam Vrajajanaranjanam Yashodanandanam Vrajajanaranjanam Yashodanandanam Vrajajanaranjanam Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandanam Vrajajanaranjanam Yashodanandanam Vrajajanaranjanam Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Rama Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Rama Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Rama Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Rama Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Vidakacharya Stuttar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhai Charan Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swam Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON and BBT Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ji Ki Maha Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Go Premanande. All glorious assembly devotees, all glorious assembly devotees, all glorious assembly devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayed Nasta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Srimvatam Swakatha Krishna Katha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Kirtanaha Redanta Stohya Bhadrani Vidhunod Surit Satam Krishna Swadhamopagate Dharma Ginadbisaha Kalonasta Dishamisha Puranar Konadoditaha Maha Krishna Bhagavatam Ki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, Verse 45. The title of chapter is The Descriptions of the Characteristics of King Puranjana. Repeat it after me. Saptopari Krita Dwaraha Saptopari Krita Dwaraha Saptopari Krita Dwaraha Puras Tasyas Tu Dve Adaha Puras Tasyas Tu Dve Adaha Purastasyastu dve adaha Pritag Vishaya Gati Artham Pritag Vishaya Gatyartham Pritag Vishaya Gatyartham Tasyam Yaha Kashtanishvaraha Tasyanya Kashtanishvaraha Tasyanya Kashtanishvaraha Saptopari Kritadvara Purastasyastu Dve Adaha Pritag Vishaya Gatyarthan Tasyanya Kashtanishvaraha Saptoparikritā dvara Purastasyastu dve adaha Pritag vishaya gatyartham Tasyam yah kaschaneshvaraha. Devotes. Saptoparikritā dvara Purastasyastu dve adaha Pritag vishaya gatyartham Tasyam yah kaschaneshvaraha. Saptoparikritā dvara Purastasyastu dve adaha Pritag vishaya gatyartham Tasyam yah kaschaneshvaraha. Saptoparikritā dvara Purastasyastu dve adaha Pritag vishaya gati artham Tasyam yah kaschaneshvaraha. Sapta. Seven. Upari. Up. Up. Yes, the source of the Western languages. Kritaha. Made. Dvaraha. Gates. Puraha. Of the city. Tasyaha. That. To. Then. Dve. Two. Adaha. Down. Pritak. Different. Vishaya. Two places. Vishay is a foreign person, yes, like us. Gat artam, foregoing. Tasyan, in that city. Yaha, one who. Kashchana, however. Ishvaraha, governor. Translation from English to Sanskrit. Of the 9 gates in that city, 7 were on the surface and 2 were subterranean. A total of 9 doors were constructed, and this led to different places. All the gates were used by the city's governor. Let's go repeat together. Of the 9 gates in that city, 7 were on the surface, and 2 were subterranean. A total of 9 doors were constructed, and this led to different places. All the gates were used by the city's governor. Okay, purport by His Divine Grace Bhai Chanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The 7 gates of the body that are situated upward are the 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. The 2 subterranean gates are the rectum and the genitals. The king or the ruler of the body, who is the living entity, use all these doors to enjoy different types of material pleasures. The system of opening different gates to different places is still evident in old Indian cities. Here Prabhupada gives interesting historical information. Formerly, a capital was surrounded by walls, and one passed through various gates to go to various cities or toward specific directions. In old Delhi, there are still remnants of surrounding walls and various gates known as the Kashmir Gate, the Lahore Gate, etc. Similarly, in Ahmedabad, there is a delegate. The point of this simile is that the living entity wants to enjoy different types of material opulences. And to this end, nature has given him various holes in his body that he can utilize for sense enjoyment. Om Gyanati Mirandhyasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitan Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamyahayam Dadat Svaha Padantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasnidubhya eva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Dvaita Gadadhar Shri Vasali Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Saptoparikritha dvara purastasya studve addaha pritag vishaya gatyartan tasya ya kashtaneshvaraha. Of the 9 gates in that city, 7 were on the surface and 2 were subterranean. A total of 9 doors were constructed, and this led to different places. All the gates were used by the 6th governor. Okay. Hare Krishna. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class. So here the Narada Muni explains to Pratinabarhishat King the Puranjana's allegory. That is the allegory that illustrates the living entity in the body, us spiritual souls inside of the body. The body is like a city, and the city have many gates. Especially here are mentioned 9 gates. This verse is similar, it's the same verse that the translation of Vichana Chakravarti Thakur, because this I not brought, he is translated. But we have same point in Bhagavad Gita, and we can explore this now. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 13, where Krishna is explaining about Karma Yoga, the action, how can we action to Krishna. Verse 13, Sarva Karmani Manasa Sanyasyaste Sukham Vashi Nava Dwari Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvana Karayam. When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily in the city of 9 gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done. Purport. The embodied souls lives in the city of 9 gates. The activities of the body or the figurative city of body are conducted automatically by its particular modes of nature. The soul, although subjecting himself to the conditions of the body, can be beyond those conditions, if he so desires. Owing only to forgetfulness of his superior nature, he identifies with the material body and therefore suffers. By Krishna consciousness, he can revive his real position and thus come out of this embodiment. Therefore, when one takes to Krishna consciousness, one at once becomes completely aloof from bodily activities. In such a controlled life, in which his deliberations are changed, he lives happily within the city of 9 gates. The 9 gates are mentioned as follows. This is very interesting because this is a verse from Shvetashtar Upanishad, chapter 3, verse 18, or we have the same line of thinking, yes, same philosophy in a Shruti, in a Smriti. What this meaning? Meaning that the Vedas have a harmonic, have a unified and one begin and one conclusion. Yes, if bhakti not was the conclusion of the Vedas, bhakti not was mentioned in Shruti mantras, etc. Translation from Shvetashtar Upanishad. The Supreme Person of Godhead, who is living within the body of a living entity, is the controller of all living entities, all over the universe. The body consists of 9 gates: 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 1 mouth, the anus, and the genitals. The living entity is his conditional stage, identifies himself with the body. But when he identifies himself with the Lord within himself, he becomes just as free as the Lord, even while in the body. Therefore, a Krishna conscious person is free from both the outer and inner activities of the material body. Okay, this is a very interesting point, and for us, remember one thing is important. How I can know that the soul is illuminated or the soul are in darkness? When the soul are identified with the body, and because this identification use these 9 gates, these 9 holes to your selfish pleasure, the soul are in darkness. But when this is very practical, when the soul use these 9 holes to Krishna's pleasure, this meaning that the soul are illuminating, yes, are in Krishna consciousness, are in your natural and normal consciousness. Okay? I finish here. I will finish here. If anyone have a question, no. I promise in the last lectures that I will continue the nectar of the reading the pastimes of Lord Nityananda in Chaitanya Bhagavat. We are here in verse 355, and this is a Chadidahi Panihati festival, yes, the festival of Panihati. Lord Nityananda with his associates stayed 3 months in Panihati and enjoy of huge, big kirtans, so big that Lord Nityananda bring Lord Chaitanya to participate of these kirtans. Now, in this point, Lord Nityananda and his associates begins to visit different houses in all villages in this place. Yes. In this way, Nityananda enjoyed his own ecstatic mood as he supported in the company of his associates. This version of Chaitanya Bhagavata that I'm using now are in the Veda base and have commentaries, purports of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, but I'm not sure because don't display. And this version have the Bengali house. Yes. Yes, the people explain about Dostoevsky, Shakespeare, Baudelaire, Edgar Allan Poe, but Bengal, India have Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat, like these books of his culture. Okay, I will read one time only the Bengali for you. Verse 355. Tabe Prabhu Sarva Parishada Gonameli Bhakta Grihe Grihe Kari Paryatnana Keli. The Lord then took his associates to the houses of various devotees. The most effulgent Nityananda visited each of the villages on both banks of the Ganges. Verse 357. This is a Mahavakya. This is very interesting. All living entities became astonished when they saw him. The most blissful Nityananda is the combined form of the holy name and form of the Supreme Lord. That we have a commentary by this verse. Commentary, purport. Since Sri Nityananda Prabhu decorated himself with various valuable ornaments and garments, foolish people saw that he was absorbed in the mood of opulence rather than in the transcendent mood of Vraja. Ordinary poor people, who as a result of poverty considered themselves destituted, did not commit offenses at the Lord's feet of Avaduta Sri Nityananda while seeing his opulent manifestation of decorating himself with various ornaments, right, since those ornaments were worn to attract the attention of people bewildered by opulence. They become astonished and found in the then sweetness and topics related to the service of Krishna. At that time, Lord Nityananda was a sannyasi, yes, but he used a cloth made of silk, blue, white, and he used many jewels, yes. He used a ring in each finger, yes. The people look for Lord Nityananda and don't understand nothing, yes. And the impious persons criticize Lord Nityananda and go to hell. But this is the mood of Lord Nityananda. Yeah? He's the mood of Avaduta, and sometimes have a mood of a child. Next verse. Even the atheist who saw him offered him respects and considered offering everything to him. The body of Nityananda Swarupa was most enchanting. He glanced mercifully on everyone. When he was eating, sleeping, or wandering about, he did not pass a moment without Sankirtan. Whenever he performed dancing and congregational glorification of Krishna, many people became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Even the householders' children, who did not know anything, uprooted like trees. This is very interesting. Yes. I think that you can try this also, Lucas. Starting Kirtan, try uproot the trees. They roared loudly, uprooted trees, and ran around exclaiming, I am a coward boy, I am a coward boy, I am a coward boy. Each boy possessed such a strength that even 100 people were unable to control him. The children would joyfully roar like lion and call out, A glories to Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda. All glories. In this way, Nityananda, the life and soul of all children, overwhelmed those children with ecstatic love. For 1 month, those children did not eat anything. People became struck with wonder on seeing this. All the devotees became overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and Nityananda became the children's sole protector. the Lord would feed the children with his own hand as if they were his children. He would sometimes bind one of them and keep him nearby. Although he beat them and bound them, they would laugh loudly. One day Nityananda went to the house of Gadadhar Das to bestow mercy on him. Gadadhar Das Mahashaya was fully absorbed in ecstatic love in the mood of a gopi. He held a pot of Ganges water on his head and continued to call out, "Who wants to buy milk? Who wants to buy milk? Who wants to buy milk?" There was a most enchanting deity of Sri Balagopala in his temple. When Nityananda saw that enchanting deity of Balagopal, he affectionately embraced the deity to his chest. Like one time, Lord Nityananda entered in the Jagannath temple and go run to embrace Lord Balarama, and the security came to apart Lord Nityananda, and Lord Nityananda push him, and he fly very long distance. The great Westler Nityananda roared loudly and began to dance in the mood of a cowboy. Then Madhavananda Ghosh sang about the Dana Lila, and the lion-like Avaduta became greatly satisfied. The voice of the fortunate Madhava was so sweet that the crystal jewel of Avadutas became absorbed in ecstasy. In the happiness of his own ecstatic love, Nityananda enjoys such pastimes with the fortunate Sri Gadadhar Das. Gadadhar Das had no external consciousness, for he was absorbed in the mood of a gopi and always considered himself to be a gopi. The devotee make exercise to sahajas on the purport. When Lord Nityananda heard topics of the Dana Lila, he danced in a way that is beyond description. Yamuna Kelly not here yet. Do you remember what is the Dana Lila? Remember Krishna is called Dana Kelly? I think that is the... How is the name of the posts on the street that have texts? This is the lila that the Krishna have text to gopis. Yes. It's very sweet. I remember is near of the palace of Srimati Radharani, Varshana. He displayed all the transformations of ecstatic love as he danced incomparably. As he danced, the movement of his bodily limbs appeared like lightning. How wonderful was the movement of his arms! How wonderful was the movement of his eyes! How beautiful was his smile! And how wonderful was the swaying of his head! How wonderfully he jumped about, keeping his two beautiful feet together. The men and women, in whatever direction Nityananda cast his love-filled glance, all floated in the mellows of love for Krishna. His glance was filled with such mercy that everyone forgot their own bodies in ecstasy. By Nityananda's mercy, anyone and everyone relished the devotion that the best of the yogis and sages desire. If a person as strong as an elephant does not eat for 3 days, he will not be able to walk and his body will become weak. Although each of those children did not eat for 1 month, they behaved like lions. Such was the potency that was manifested by Lord Nityananda. Yet, by the influence of Lord Chaitanya's illusory energy, no one could understand. In this way, Nityananda stayed a few days in the house of Gadadhar Das, absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love. Gadadhar Das did not display external consciousness. He would always induce everyone to chant Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. There was a most sinful Kazi living in that village. He strongly opposed the performance of Sankirtana. Gadadhar Mahashaya was always intoxicated with transcendental ecstasy. One night he went to the house of that Kazi. Although people generally run away in fear of that Kazi, Gadadhar fearlessly went at night into his house. Gadadhar continually chanted the name of Hari as he entered the Kazi's house. The Kazi's servants sat down, speechless as they watched Gadadhar enter. Gadadhar said, "Where is that fellow Kazi? Quickly chant the name of Krishna, or I will sever your head." The Kazi was angry as fire. He came out of the room, but on saying Gadadhar Das, he became pacified. The Kazi said, "Gadadhara, why are you here?" Gadadhar replied, "I have something to say. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu have incarnated in this world to induce everyone to chant the name of Hari. You alone have not chanted the name of Hari. Therefore, I have come to your house, to make you chanting. Just chant in the most auspicious name of Hari, and I will deliver you from all sinful reactions." Although the Kazi was most envious by nature, he was stunned and could not say anything. The Kazi then smiled and said, "Listen, Gadadhar Das, you go home now. I will chant the name of Hari tomorrow." A bark. As soon as Gadadhar Das heard the name of Hari come from the Kazi's mouth, he became filled with ecstatic jubilation. Gadadhar Das then said, "Why tomorrow? You just now uttered the name of Hari. Since you have uttered the name of Hari, all your inauspiciousness has been immediately vanquished." After speaking these words, Gadadhar clapped his hands and danced while intoxicated with ecstasy. After some time, Gadadhar returned to his house. Nityananda always resided in his body. Such are the glories of Gadadhar Das, who is counted among the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Saintly persons did not want to be touched by the air that touched the Kazi, for they felt that such contact would make them lose their caste. Yet Gadadhar Das Mahashaya glanced mercifully on that most sinful Kazi, who took away the caste of any Hindu he encountered. When such a person gives up his envious nature, it is to be understood that this is the potency of Krishna consciousness. Haribol. Fire, snakes and tigers cannot harm a person who is truly absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Out of his causeless mercy, Lord Nityananda freely distributed to his dear associates the love for Krishna that is desired by personalities like Brahma, and attachment to Krishna displayed by the gopis. Oh brothers, just worship the lotus feet of Nityananda, by whose mercy one can attain the shelter of Lord Chaitanya. This is a very important junction also. After some days, Nityananda Prabhu felt a desire to see Mother Sachi. So he began an auspicious journey to Navadvipa, accompanied by his associates. Yeah, the children's. On the way, the Lord came to the house of Purandara Pandita in the village of Kadhadaha. As he entered in the village of Kadhadaha, Lord Nityananda danced so wonderfully that it is beyond description. Pundara Pandita became so intoxicated with ecstasy love that he climbed a tree and roared like a lion. The body of Sri Chaitanya Dasa displayed no sign of external consciousness. He would chase tigers through the forest. Yes, for you, it's a mission. He would chase tigers through the forest. Yeah. Sometimes he would jump on a tiger's back, yet by the mercy of Krishna, the tiger would not harm him. Yeah, apply to you. Sometimes Chaitanya Dasa would fearlessly take large python on his lap and play with it. He would fearlessly play with tigers. All this was possible by the mercy of Avadhuta Nityananda. Lord Nityananda Prabhu was affectionated to his servants. He freely gave them mellows of love that were hardly attained by Brahma. Chaitanya Das had no fear for external body, of which he was completely forgetful. He could spend all 24 hours of the day chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra or speaking about Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Sometimes they would remain submerged in water for 2 or 3 days, but he would feel no body inconvenience. Thus he behaved almost like inert matter. Yet sometimes he displayed great enthusiasm like that of a lion. It's not possible to describe the transformations of devotional service displayed by Chaitanya Das, for they were all unlimited. But it is understood that anyone who was touched by the air that came in contact with Murari Chaitanya Das would certainly be enlightened in Krishna consciousness. Nowadays, someone calls himself Chaitanya Das, though he never chants the glories of Lord Chaitanya even in his dreams. Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the beloved Lord of Advaita. Advaita became truly glorious as a result of his devotional service to Lord Chaitanya. More 5 minutes. All glories to Advaita's devotional service to Lord Chaitanya. Advaita was fully empowered by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Saintly persons always glorify Advaita in this way, but some people consider this an insult to Advaita. Some useless person like this may call himself Chaitanya Das, but how can such a sinful person attain the shelter of Dvaita? I have a purport. One duplicitous devotee of Dvaita Prabhu used to call himself Chaitanya Das. His idea was that Sri Krishna Chaitanya was Radhika and Advaita was Krishna. But actually Lord Chaitanya is the combining form of Radha and Govinda, and Sri Advaita Prabhu is a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. The so-called servant of Lord Chaitanya was actually averse to Lord Chaitanya. Sri Advaita Prabhu became fully empowered simply by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Yet that Ativadi, or overly proud person who considered himself a devotee of Dvaita, did not realize this fact until that such a statement was an insult to Sri Advaita. And one who considers the sinful person a follower of Advaita could not and can not understand the mentality of Advaita. Verse 441. One who considers such sinful person a follower of Advaita never understands the heart of Advaita. The persons may be known by the name Chaitanya Das or servant of Chaitanya, just as demons are known by the name Punyajana or pious person. After passing some days at Kadadha, Nityananda went with his associates to Saptagram. In this village of Saptagram, there is a place associated with the 7 sages now throughout the world as Triven Gata. The 7 sages previously performed austerities and attained the lotus feet of Govinda on the bank of the Ganges at this place. If I'm not wrong, the Navadvipa Manda Parikram passed in this place, have a large river, if I'm not wrong. The 3 goddesses, Janavi, Yamuna, it is this place. Janavi, Yamuna, and Saraswati merge together at this place. Very nice place to chant the Gayatri. This place is renowned throughout the worlds of Trivengata. By taking darshan of this place, all one's sins are destroyed. Nityananda and his associates took bath in this gata in great ecstasy. Lord Nityananda stayed on the bank of the Triveni at the house of the fortunate Udharanadatta. Udharanadatta sincerely worshipped the feet of Nityananda with his body, mind, and speech. How fortunate was Udharana, who achieved the opportunity of serving Nityananda Swarupa. Birth after birth, Nityananda Swarupa was his master, and birth after birth, Udharanadatta was his servant. Last verse. There is no doubt that the entire mercantile community was delivered by Udharanadatta. Lord Nityananda advent to deliver the mercantile community. He gave them the qualification to develop ecstatic love of gods. Shri Nityananda Mahajan ki, Mahagrantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Go Premanandi. The verse of today is spoken by the 9 gates, the body, yes, and I read the connection with the Bhagavad Gita, and after this I started reading the Chaitanya Bhagavat. If one have a comment, we have 5 minutes.
I have a question, but I don't know if it's
Slowly.
answerable. Yes. So in Chaitanya Lila, it's Krishna in the mood of Radharani who comes with his associates, but he brings all he brings all associates, or some associates he brings to this material world. And how do we know? Like, why does he bring certain associates and not others? And like, is there kind of a explanation somewhere?
Every time that Krishna is coming, he came in with his associates, yes, like a king, have your ministers and all. But no, each associate coming, I don't know. You know about this, Krishna Prabhupada?
I mean, from the logical point of view, there is unlimited associates.
Yeah.
So you can't bring all of them. Just like a king.
Yeah.
His palace, he has unlimited servants. When he travels, he takes some with him.
Yeah. Including in the Maha Lila, in the Kirtan to the house of Chankas, how is the name of the Lila, this Kirtan, that the devotees torch and fire in the, catch fire on the torches, yes. Have a description is a million of persons. Yes, this is unlimited, inconceivable. Like the number of cows and calves in Vraja, yes. The diameter of Vraja is 1. After, I think, in here, but the numbers of cows and calves is unlimited. Yes.
So then he just brings those associates that are for particular lila, main associates.
Yeah. Because this lila is this Panihati lila are in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. How was the description of Krishna Das Kaviraj? Have so many devotees. Devotees stay inside of the Ganges. Yes. So much devotees don't have space on earth, and many devotees stay inside of Ganges. For we have idea, so many devotees, yes, spiritual souls are in there. It's unlimited. This is the thing more incredible to see in the reality, yes. See these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna, because this. When you go in a football stadium with 6,000 persons, yes, he's have energy, but this is ridiculous if you compare this, yes, in terms of crowd, yes. This is a great spectacular. It's a great thing to see in the life. Okay. Maha Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Go Premanande. preso usa para fugir da prisão?
Krishna, Krishna.
Santa Maria?
Não, ai, meu Deus. Ai, esqueci.
Teresa?
Teresa. Teresa Batista, Canção de Terra.